Hello everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to DC Fans United. So today I'm going to be talking to you about a few DC comics that have been delayed. So first of all, Batman and the Outsiders is one of the books that is going to be delayed, which is really unfortunate. I had pre-ordered it. Actually, both of the books that are delayed that we're going to talk about I had pre-ordered. So it's been a real back and forth on the Outsiders. Initially, some websites like Bleeding Cool reported that Batman and the Outsiders was canceled. So that was something they got wrong, and I actually got into a little back and forth about it with Rich Johnston, who's like their chief guy over there. But anyway, they reported that it was canceled, and that caused a lot of confusion. So people went on Twitter and asked Brian Edward Hill, who is the writer of it, if it was indeed canceled, and he said everything is fine. We can only launch Outsiders in this iteration once, so it has to accomplish as much as possible in our book and beyond it. And he went on to say, there's some in-universe stuff that needs more incorporation into the story. It's a push on the release, but from what I understand, everything is fine, just taking more time to make sure the launch is powerful. So, and then he references the article. He says, haven't read the article, so I don't know what it said, but it's because people brought that up to the writer. So I found that to be really interesting, because Rich Johnston later basically denied having said the wrong thing, because later, actually yesterday, it was reported in all these news sites on the tweets that Brian Edward Hill put out. So it's supposedly it's still in the works, it's just delayed according to the writer. So that's what everyone's going with now, including the news sites. So that's what I believe too. So I did get an email from DC... what is it I buy from? DCBS or something. But anyways, they sent me an email and said that Batman and the Outsiders #1 was canceled, but the reason provided was that it will be offered in future preview catalogs. So that would essentially verify that it is just delayed. But with that being said, it is a little, it's kind of annoying having multiple books be delayed. Of course, Doomsday Clock went to bi-monthly instead of monthly, so we talked about that a little bit on my live stream last night, about how it's a bit of a chore. I mean, I do enjoy Doomsday Clock, but whenever an issue does come out, it's been 2 months since I read it, so I have to go back and reread everything. It's okay, but I think it'll read a lot better on the trade. Doomsday Clock, I'm actually not that unhappy with it taking its time and being delayed, partly because I haven't pre-ordered it, but also because the Gary Frank art is just so good, and I don't mind him having the time to do the work. But with that being said, Batman and the Outsiders, we've known that was coming for a really long time, so it being delayed, really disappointing. The other book that's delayed, and I just found this out yesterday, is Shazam. So DC Comics Shazam #2 has been pushed back 5 weeks with a new January release. Wow. So I'm going to be waiting a long time to get that. So that's kind of a drag, a 5-week delay on that. It is nice they're finally bringing Shazam into Rebirth, but these delays are kind of a drag. And let's see, it didn't give a reason for it being delayed as far as I know. But initially it was supposed to come out November 21st and has been pushed back as far as January 23rd. And then the third issue will come out in like February. So Shazam's going to be trickling out, it looks like. In any case, the cover they put out does look really good, and it's Christmas themed, which is interesting because it's now going to be a January 23rd release. But, they didn't know that when they drew the cover. And I am looking forward to these books. Like, I really want to read Batman and the Outsiders. I made videos about it already. I made a video hyping it. It feels like months ago. So I really am looking forward to Batman and the Outsiders. I'm just waiting for it still. It's going to be a wait, but it looks like we're going to get it. Same thing with Shazam. Really glad to see him getting his own solo book, so that's pretty awesome. One other bit of good news, I decided I'm going to check out Alterna Comics, so those ought to be getting here within a week. I ordered 9 Alterna books, so really looking forward to those getting here, and I'll probably be reviewing those somewhat. I imagine I'll review all of them if I like them. So that will probably tide me over and then we'll start reviewing some of these other newer books. But with all that being said, I'd like to thank my Patreons. I have 2 so far. We have Tristan Just and Robert at StarredCraft. So if you'd like to be a Patreon, get your own shoutouts, and have access to Patreon exclusive videos that I make, you can support me on Patreon for $2 with a link in the description box. So that's all for now. I really appreciate you guys listening. Oh yeah, I'm going to have a live stream tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So that one's going to be really awesome. We will have Nerdette, Unranked Chevron, Comic Perch, and number 1 Marmaduke fan. It's going to be really fun, and we're going to be talking about DC live action movies. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. And as always, thank you for watching and being a part of DC Fans United.
End of line.